Good morning, guys. Today is our last day in Croatia. We're standing here in Dubrovnik, as you can see behind me, the old city. Today we're going to be showing you around the town what to do in Dubrovnik, as well as a few sites such as Game of Thrones. And actually I'm standing in one of the places where they used to film one of the scenes in Game of Thrones. So before we get going today, be sure to like the video down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done already, and let's get started. This is the main gate, or the main entrance to the old city, and that on top is the patron saint to the city as well. And you can also see that they still have a little cannon on top and a few holes for other cannons. And standing in front of us is what used to be the old well for the city, or the old water source for the city. They put the dome on it after, I believe it was the Austro-Hungarian Empire. One of the engineers from Milan actually completed the dome. But if you see these little fountains, these little drinking ports, it's still operational and it still works today. So if you need to refill your bottle of water, refill it, because here in Croatia the water is drinkable. The tap water is very, very clean. So it's just a waste of money if you're going to buy it in the store. You can just refill it in the city and save a bit of money. And this is the old Franciscan church and monastery, which we'll go to in a bit. But here is apparently a very famous little spot that I guess the tourists are supposed to jump off the pedestal, or this little stone here that you see. Woo, that was close, with a little pigeon. But as you can tell, there's like a little heart in the shape of it. So I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't seen anybody do anything here other than just pose for it, but it's something to see. And this is the main street. This is the most important street in Dubrovnik, and during the day, this is obviously not closed now, but it's full of restaurants, shops, and full of people normally in a good season. This year, not so much due to the crisis and everything. And Dubrovnik is a big city. It's the capital of the region. So when you visit, they have basically something for everybody. You can go skydiving, jet skiing, hiking, whatever you want, boating, rent a boat, walk the old city, do the Game of Thrones tours as well, because this is the area for Game of Thrones, so it's very, very popular. You can see it everywhere you walk around the town.
Ahora estamos en la escalera más famosa de todo Dubrovnik debido a Juego de Tronos. Y el motivo es porque, ojo, spoiler, aquí se grabó una de las escenas más populares de Juego de Tronos con la reina Cersei. Y era del momento en el que pasa por la pasarela de la vergüenza, y entonces ella baja desde aquí y está toda la gente por aquí para, bueno, lanzarle cosas y tal, que iba bajando los escalones uno por uno, y tuvieron un poco de problema porque como en la escena ella está como desnuda, entonces la iglesia se opuso, entonces tuvieron un poco de problema para grabarlo precisamente por este motivo. Y entonces esta es una de las escaleras también más famosas porque se parece mucho a la escalera española de Roma, y entonces pues es muy bueno, es un sitio que está muy concurrido normalmente. Ahora no, porque son las 7 de la mañana, pero normalmente durante el día la gente viene aquí y hace muchísimas fotos, recrea la escena sin desnudarse, claro. Si te desnudas son 200 euros de multa, así que mejor no lo hagáis. Así que si venís aquí, este es un sitio, bueno, obligatorio. Estamos justo enfrente del edificio de la cuarentena, que es ese de allí. Y ese edificio es famoso porque tiene una historia detrás, y es la historia relacionada con la peste negra. Cuando la peste negra, sobre 1300-1400, lo que pasaba es que para no contaminar la ciudad de Dubrovnik, ponían los viajeros y toda la gente que quería entrar en cuarentena en ese edificio durante un cierto periodo de tiempo, para así evitar los contagios dentro. Además también deciros que Dubrovnik está protegido por la UNESCO, por lo cual también es patrimonio de la humanidad. Ahora estamos en las murallas, son como 2 kilómetros de murallas casi intactas que se pueden recorrer, lo único que hace bastante calor. Entonces desde aquí lo primero que vemos es esa parte de allí, que es como una pequeña bahía y es uno de los escenarios de Juego de Tronos que se utiliza bastante cuando tienen que rodar escenas de barcos de ida y vuelta, etc.
So one of the things that I would recommend when you come to Dubrovnik is to visit the city walls. They're extremely expensive for the price, but I would recommend it. Even though they are expensive, I'm still happy that I came here because it's something very, very unique. The walls are still pretty much intact. They run uninterrupted for almost 2 kilometers as well, and they're protected by UNESCO as well, so they can't modify them in any way, shape, or form. The only thing is that if you do come to the city walls, I highly and strongly suggest that you either visit very early in the morning as soon as they open because it can get very hot, or you visit at night just before they close. Because like I said, especially during the summer, even at 8 in the morning, the sun, it's hot. And when you're walking along the walls for about 2 kilometers, and it takes about an hour more or less to finish it, by the end of it, I would suggest bringing in a bottle of water just in case. If you can hear behind me, I think that right now they have a bunch of sports cars driving around the city, some Lamborghinis, Ferraris and Porsches, but it's some beautiful, beautiful views from the city towers, especially when you come up to the main tower on the corner here. It's absolutely beautiful.
Tienen como 2 canchas de básquet, una de ellas es un poco irregular porque como no cabe, pues lo han puesto ahí como han podido, la otra sí que es un poco mejor. Desde aquí se ven unas vistas maravillosas, realmente Dubrovnik se puede apreciar mucho desde fuera, es precioso realmente, desde todas las vistas posibles que se puedan ver. Es increíble porque es súper único. Nunca había visto una ciudad tan bien conservada con sus murallas y que puedas realmente pues, pasear por todas las murallas que son como 2 kilómetros. Es increíble. Hemos llegado a la torre Mincheta o Mincheta, no sé cómo se pronuncia, que está en una de las partes de las murallas realmente. Es uno de los sitios donde se grabó Juego de Tronos con Daenerys y sus dragones justamente en la temporada 2. No os digo más por si queréis ver la serie, no sabéis exactamente de qué punto es. Así que, pero bueno, hace mucha gracia porque a nosotros nos gusta mucho la serie y nos ha hecho gracia encontrar este sitio. Hay mucha gente que lo que hace es recrear estos escenarios haciendo pues interpretaciones y demás, y si queréis también tenéis tours privados o free tours de Juego de Tronos porque la ciudad realmente está como súper orientada a la serie.
The other thing, guys, is that if you want to come to this tower, or what's called the Red Keep in Game of Thrones, you can do it if you buy the entrance ticket to the walls. It's the same ticket, you don't have to pay anything extra, so be sure to keep them, don't rip it up, because trust me, otherwise you have to buy it again, and then it's not really worth it. Actually, a guard told us this just before we left the towers, so I thank him very much for this, because normally we throw away our receipts, and if not, we wouldn't have been able to show you. Here, if you look at the part above, in the movie, there's a whole section that they fabricated, so obviously it's missing. And then in each of these holes that you see, in real life they're empty, but in the movie or in Game of Thrones they put some sort of symbol like the 7 sides, I believe it was for the 7 kingdoms or something such as that, to fill it. That's pretty cool. So we're standing in the Franciscan church and monastery, and actually right now in the courtyard. The monastery was founded around 1300s, but it was one of the buildings that was damaged or heavily destroyed during the earthquake. But technically, they still have one of the oldest pharmacies in Europe. I believe it was founded again in the same year, about 1317. They don't sell the same medicine, obviously, but it still looks very, very old. And it doesn't look like it's still running or operating, but theoretically or technically it is.
Hoy hace mucho calor, así que hemos decidido parar para tomarnos un helado, que la verdad es que se sienta de maravilla. Hemos estado paseando por Dubrovnik, en la ciudad, el casco antiguo, y realmente es un casco antiguo muy, muy, muy medieval. Lo que sí que os hartaréis de subir y bajar, porque es que es como hace mucho pendiente, pero por lo demás está siendo muy mono y nos está gustando bastante.
War Photo Limited is right in the old city. It's mainly a gallery of photos taken during the Croatian War of Independence from Yugoslavia. I highly recommend going, as they show you what the people went through during the war, as well as the Bosnian War. It's tragic to see how much the people suffered during that time, and when you walk through the streets of Dubrovnik, you will see more photos of the damage that was inflicted on the city during the conflict.
Hemos cogido el teleférico, que el precio es bastante caro, la verdad, son 26 euros ir y volver, y puedes tener la opción de ir y luego volver a pie si no quieres realmente gastarte esa cantidad de dinero por lo caro que es. Pero sí que es verdad que te sube en 5 minutos o menos incluso, es muy rápido, y desde aquí se ven unas vistas increíbles, increíbles. Es realmente precioso, ves todo el mar, incluso ves toda la vista desde 180 grados, y por ahí ves pues todas las pequeñas islas que tiene Croacia, que son un montón, y es realmente estupendo, especialmente si os gustan las puestas de sol como nosotros, que realmente nos encanta. Así que es un lugar muy bonito para venir. Si queréis también hacer un picnic aquí, no es tampoco una mala idea, así que realmente es muy bonito y es totalmente recomendable.
So guys, this is the end of our trip. We enjoyed our trip immensely, especially in Croatia, all the cities that we visited. We really, really, really like Croatia, and now I understand why everybody visits, because it's beautiful weather, excellent food, nice people. We've really enjoyed our trip to all the countries, and especially Prague, Budapest, Vienna, and all of Croatia, especially ending it in Dubrovnik. So guys, thank you for joining and watching all the videos, and be sure to check out the rest of my videos and recipes that I have online. I'll obviously be making more cooking videos. Hopefully I'll be making some more travel videos soon, and the more you watch, the more I can make. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Thank you.